The name of this video is How to Educate a Judge and Live to Tell About It. I had the privilege of being a deputy district attorney in Contra Costa County, serving on a felony trial team and bringing to verdict over 30 jury trials. And the career path for a lot of deputy district attorneys is to run for judge. And in fact, a lot of the judges in Los Angeles and Orange County are former DAs. And allow me to say, some of the most dedicated public servants and some of the most intelligent people that I've ever met are DAs, as is my son, Michael, currently based in Glendale, following in Dad's footsteps. But what do you do when you have a judge who's been assigned to probate that has never dealt with probate before? What do you do when you have a judge that's assigned to civil and they don't really know the law? Well, you have a job as an advocate, and that is to educate them. And the purpose of this video is to talk about how to educate a judge, but live to tell about it. And make no mistake about it, when you educate a judge, you have to be very careful not to make it look like you are educating a judge. And the last thing you will ever hear out of a judge is, I don't know the answer to that. This is new to me. I am just feeling my way here. They have the robes, they have the power, and they are going to go forward and make their decisions whether they are educated or not. The worst thing you can do when you find a judge who is feeling their way is to lord it over them or create a situation where they do not look like the master of their courtroom. So how do you educate a judge and put the information out there to give them background? Well, first off, you're never going to educate a sitting judge orally. There's too much time pressure for them, and they won't be able to sit and hear your lectures. This is not going to be law school. So the education has to be in writing, and you have to be a great writer. And what are the 4 keys for writing that appropriately educates a judge? Well, first off, you want to have credibility, and you want to eliminate all the typos. You want to accept and address the other side's arguments. And you want to have a clean document or brief that's filed with the court that looks like somebody put some care into it and does know what they're talking about. Second, you can't assume that the judge understands the background of how the law came to be where it is. And so a very helpful thing to do is to create an exposition where you methodically go through the development of the law and how and why the rule came to be applied as it is. Third, when you write, you want to make sure that the most important page, which is page 1, is correct. You want to outline what the issue is, what the respective positions are, and what the judge is supposed to do and why. If that's not on page 1 and the judge needs to roll through to page 6 or 9 in order to find out what you want and what the case is about, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And finally, and at a certain level, the most important thing about educating a judge is that you can't run away from what the other side is saying. And when you hear great mediators talk, one of the things they talk about is the need of both sides to be heard. And there's a program called Case Text. And what the clerks and what the judges do is run your brief through Case Text because it's free. And if you're not running Case Text every time, you're making a big mistake, because what Case Text does is go through with artificial intelligence and bring up any cases you failed to cite that would be relevant to that issue. So if you're running from something or you're hiding from a particular case, they're going to find it, and they're not going to accept the credibility of your positioning. You need to appear more professorial, and you need to not only talk about the good cases, but you need to talk about the bad cases. And using case text and your own legal training and background, you want to provide an even and balanced view that a judge would be proud to put their own signature on. And when you've done a great job, that's exactly what they do. They're looking at something that is reasoned and balanced, addresses the arguments of both sides, and comes to a reasoned conclusion on a particular issue. How to educate the judge.